Hey, what's up, guys? Mike Patrick. In this video, I want to speak on the broski, young Pharaoh. Okay, guys. Now, as far as my audience go, some of y'all may know who he is, some of you may not. Okay, but he's a pretty popular YouTuber. Okay, he's not on YouTube as of right now. He's like on Instagram mostly. But this is the thing, guys. He's going through some things right now, okay? And I think this is going to be, with me, I don't get into celebrity gossip and just talking about things for the sake of the popularity of it in that moment and who the person is. I try to, like, okay, well, if this is a popular person and this may draw his name or her name or this situation may draw interest, you know what I mean? Then therefore, if I can get a bigger point across or a more valuable point across through their name, then I'll use it. But yeah, cause I hate to have to do it that way, because like I'm not a person that likes to uh, you know give too much attention to an especially other another man. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you're not gonna find me just doing videos or that's on another guy like that. But okay, I understand if certain people have a certain level of popularity, and therefore if I can make a point, if something that transpired with them can help me get across a teaching point and a message, and if their name or their situation may help draw people to that, then that's what it is. But guys, young Pharaoh. All right, so the thing is, guys, I have a whole lot of respect for young Pharaoh based on the fact that if you followed young Pharaoh years and years ago, he was kicking a whole lot of knowledge and perspective and understanding or overstanding. I know people have issues with the etymology and different words. I get it. So the point is, he was kicking a lot of stuff that we could benefit from, okay, and that would help us. And so what happened is he ended up, as time went on, you could see that as time went on, you could see that he started getting away from being beneficial to us and kind of end up being a stagnation to us or just adding to the problem, if that makes sense. But what I would say is this: with that said, early on he was the perfect blend of, just imagine, use this as a way of thinking. Imagine a gang of guys standing on a corner, or street corner, or in any project, right? And you know what their day-to-day dealings might be. You know what they may talk about. You know what they may engage in and things like that. You're not going to. Who are you going to go get if you're trying to enlighten those people, or those group of guys or whatever? If you're trying to enlighten them in a certain type of way, what would be the best approach, right? Take somebody that looks like them, that talks like them, that has the same experiences as them, that has the same um, ideas. Just someone who's familiar, if that makes sense. And if you can get them to correlate a message or an idea or different ideas or a different way of life, if you can get them to translate that message, it's almost like translation. Like, okay, these people or these guys are used to this, used to that in this way. You know what I mean? If I want to teach them something different, a better way, a different way, or just an alternative way, how would I go about doing that? Would I get somebody who can't relate to them at all, who don't look like them, who don't sound like them, who don't talk like them, who don't have any of the same experiences? Or would I get somebody that has all that, but also has the ability to learn this and know this and then bring it back to them, right? So I felt like young Pharaoh was that. Not only young Pharaoh, but I feel like he was that. And so at the time, the cursing that he was doing at the time, some of the little ways and things that that he would show about himself, it was okay because it's like, okay, this is a way, this is a good, you are a good bridge. Now, mind you, once somebody get to a certain point, if you're still doing this way, then you probably won't be necessary. I'm doing a video, boo. You probably won't be necessary to a certain group of people anymore, based on the fact that they may have graduated to a certain point where they don't need it the way that you give it anymore, right? But you may always be necessary to a new group of people coming up who may need it a certain type of way, right? And so the thing is, that's what I loved about him. I'm like, dang, he's a perfect blend. Like when I was listening to him 4 or 5 years ago, things like that. I mean, I keep up with him and everything that's going on from an entertainment standpoint after a while. But as far as just straight up knowledge, like 4 or 5 years ago, you know what I mean? But I liked it because he was somebody that could have been on my basketball team, on my football team that I went to high school with, that lived across the street from me. You know what I mean? Whatever. You feel me? Like, you know what I mean? And so that's why I was digging him, because I'm like, all right, if I'm trying to learn about different things or whatnot, I want to get it from somebody that I could relate to. You know what I mean? It's a way that this can be said. It's a way that this can be communicated. You know what I mean? That's more um, feedable and feasible. And uh, for me, you know, and so he was great for that. He is great for that. You know what I mean? If you go back to that, but what has transpired lately, over the last maybe year or two, probably 3 years now, is just a whole lot more straight ignorance, straight up violence. You know what I mean? And just getting away from being, that's why I don't consider myself, and I don't like the whole term conscious. You know what I mean? Community and things like that. You know what I mean? You have people who's trying to become more aware of things, but you don't want to get caught up in the whole conscious community thing. You know what I mean? No, because that's more like a business. I would say, like, being spiritual. If you're trying to become more spiritual, more in tune, more aware of your surroundings and what's going on and who you are and things like that, that's something different. But don't tag yourself with that conscious community thing, because a lot of money and all that stuff start to get involved, and things like that, and it becomes another hustle. you know, while you can get some good information, it becomes another hustle. And a lot of people never actually change. Okay, they just go from, you might go from hustling crack to hustling consciousness or whatever. Um, so with that said, guys, with young Pharaoh though, uh, I think what happened now, this is what is really gonna get good, is that now, to get deep, I think that he's being used. I know he's being used, and he's been used, and he's been chosen and used by this, whatever you choose to believe in, like the ancestors, angels, whatever, whoever, God the Most High, or if you just call him God, whatever. Like, he was chosen to have a certain amount of influence, okay? And he was doing his thing. What can happen is, when you are chosen, and things like that, um, you can't abuse it, okay? And what happened is, he's been, the way he been, I'm not gonna lie, and this is stuff that he's been putting out, the way he's been acting, the things that he's gotten, and and things like that. He's been going about things very wrong, okay? And that same energy that propelled you, okay, and the same Most High, the same ancestors, because from what he believes in, like ancestors and things like that, that propelled you. If you're not doing what you're supposed to do, okay, with great power comes great responsibility. And if you're not doing what you're supposed to do, then things can get thrown out of whack. All right. Um. And so, like I said, for those of you who follow him, and follow everything that's been going on, then I don't need to say what's been going on, but you can see what's been going on. You know what I mean? And if you haven't been following them, if you don't even know what I'm talking about, once you see this video and then you go do further research, you know, it may be too much too fast, you know, and too much too fast and forgetting, you know, what your aim's supposed to be and things like that. Um, that's why I like, you know, I have a situation, and my thing is like I like the way it is, where I think people. I ain't gonna say I think I know people respect me. But what I mean is I think it's a whole lot more people that may be aware of me than what I know, and when I do these videos and things like that. But I like how if I go out and about, you know, I get, you know, I still get, you know, it's still humbling, and I still, you know, I don't have people running up to me or anything like that. You know what I mean? And that's good because it keeps you on your square, and it keeps you humble, and it keeps you doing what you're supposed to do. Now I have little signs. I have little signs to let me know that, you know, I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and that people appreciate it and people know. I'm not saying that. I'm sorry. I'm not saying that that's not the case, but because what can happen, man, you know, you can get too much too fast, and then you can get out of touch with what you're supposed to have been doing, and then it will show what your real motive was. You know what I mean? And some of these guys, they get, or some people in general, you know, they start getting the movie star, the rap star, the R&B star, the country star syndrome, where they just become a star, and then it's starting to make you think all they want to do is become a star. Cause look how they acting now. They say money just make you more of what you already are, if that makes sense. So it's good for things to come slow and not too fast, because as you're getting to a certain level, you know what I mean, it makes you stay on point about like, all right, this is why I'm in this position in the first place, because I'm doing this. It keeps you humble, it keeps you grounded, and it keeps you honest. You know what I mean? And so I think even with the ancestors, or with the Most High, or with God, like I said, depending on whatever you subscribe to, I think, you know, what's going on with him now, he's definitely having spiritual and mental issues. Uh, and it's not bad. Like I said, that same power though, it's just it's being now is it's working against him. If that makes sense, based on the fact that he, um, you know, he's not holding up his end of the bargain, as far as do the right thing, man. This is not about your pockets. This ain't about you trying to rule over people. This ain't about you trying to have 1,000 women. This ain't about you trying to have every single thing your way. In the beginning, when you was trying to um, help people and giving knowledge that people can benefit from, you see how you were being blessed, and how you continue to be blessed to the point where you're at now. But see, you lost track of that, and maybe that was never his understanding in the first place, and maybe he was just talented and didn't understand where his blessings was coming from and what they were being used for, and then he got taken off track. But what I will say is this now, you know, I don't think he's gone. I don't think he's far. If I ain't gonna lie, he gonna have to. Things gonna have to. Somebody gonna have to step in, and something gonna have to step in fast. You know what I mean? I don't know if drugs are involved and things like that. Um, but he don't seem to be able. He don't seem to have a break from it. Like usually when stuff like that happen, it happen fast. Maybe couple days or something like that. You know what I mean? Then you start to like, all right, you know what I mean? But he need to be around better people. He need to be around good people. He need to be eating the right foods, getting his sleep and things like that, exercising, you know, and things like that, and just get away from. And then another thing is like things can trigger things. So obviously, Golden Beauty, he loves you. He loves Golden Beauty, and so we know things like that can take you for different turns too. You know. Um, so Golden Beauty, he loves you, and from what I could see, what I've seen on the internet, like I see why he loves you. Like, you know, I can see why he loves you. You know, you seem to have it together mentally, you know, and things like that. And And so, what I would say is try to help him and reach out to him. I know you might have tried to do that and things like that, but I'm talking about off the scene because a lot of it just got to do with that. He loves you a whole lot more than what people probably would think or know, and and that altered his mental and things like that in the state. But it's not nothing he can't come back from. It's not anything that is, that's, that it's that bad. But it does have to be, things have to be, worked on fast before something drastic happens. Because when most people go through situations like this, you know, it's not televised. It's not. They're not as big of a figure as young Pharaoh is. So it's a little different. You know what I mean? Um, so when him trying to bounce back, it's a little different because all the videos is on YouTube of him being a certain way or whatever, and people, and things like and people saying what they got to say and things like that. So it's kind of hard to just turn around and like, oh, I'm good now. But people do go through stuff, and he can turn around and be like, I'm good now. You know what I mean? But he got to do that. Um, And you got to get over the point. If it's something y'all can work out, I hope y'all can work it out because he definitely love that girl. I trust me. Only he ain't snap or ain't nothing ain't nothing happen like that until the situation with her happened. You know what I mean? Then it made him snap. So if it's the way y'all can work it out and y'all got children, y'all got a kid together and things like that, then try to work it out. If it ain't, then just try to support him the best that you can. You don't got to be his woman. You don't got to be one of his wives or one of his girlfriends or anything like that. But just out of caring for an individual, you know what I mean, and having respect for the fact that he loved you enough to. This is the point that you helped take him to. I'm not calling you responsible for it, but that's the point that you took him to, and just having respect for the fact that damn, this man loved me and cared about me that much. When a lot of people, he would have never reacted. You know what I mean? So think about that and do what you can for him. Because he is an extremely intelligent dude. He influenced a lot of us, helped a lot of us, shared a lot of information in a way, you know what I mean, that we can understand it, that we could digest it, and that we can dig it, and that we could like it. So, you know what I mean? We can't just try to throw this man away because now we know a lot of people, it's just haters in the first place. So they love to see this, you know what I mean, and jump on it. But so okay, somebody like me who's not hating, who has respect and admiration for him, but at the same time, who can say, all right, wrong, right is right and wrong is wrong. Like, you know what I mean? Like, try to walk with him and guide, because he accomplished things that most people would never accomplish. Okay, he has an influence that most people would never have. So don't just try to, you being his children's mom or his child's mom. Don't try to just walk out on him. Don't try to just, when people trying to kick him when he's down and things like that. Respect that and walk with that man and help that man get back. You know what I mean? If you can. All right, guys. Peace. Hopefully it's a good video.